Hey, we're back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, and Kirk Irby is here from Lowell's Pharmacy. Good morning, Kirk.
Good morning.
Seems like the last couple of months, January and February, first weekend of the month, I was playing hooky, pretending to be sick so I could sit home and watch the soap ops and the game shows.
Yes, you were.
And no, I wasn't watching game shows and soap operas. That's what I did when I was a kid. I was watching Perry Mason episodes.
Okay.
On the internet.
That sounds a little bit better, and for my liking, at least.
Yeah, the modern day sickness thing. I was trying to get the scores from the Black Gold Slugfest yesterday, and nobody posted a Hobbs score. Hobbs played Cleveland last night, but Los Lunas beat Clovis 8-1. Artesia, as we mentioned, beat Pewaukee Valley 17-8, and Belen beat Santa Fe 12-7. There were some Belen folks. That was the game right after the Artesia game at the JV field, and there were some Belen folks sitting in front of the press box, and our game ended, and one of the Belen fans says, hey, where can I watch this? And I said, well, we're on ksvptv.com, but we're not doing the Belen game. We're just doing Artesia. Oh, well, how much for you guys to stick around and do that game? I said, we're not going to do that. We're tired. We're going home. So, 4 games today. Belen's playing Pewaukee Valley at noon. Artesia is in the 2:30 game against Santa Fe. Cleveland plays Clovis at 5. And then Hobbs and Los Lunas in the nightcap at 7:30. All those games on the varsity field in Hobbs. So, hey, I got to ask you, who's the bully? Ron DeSantis goes to give a speech somewhere at a school, apparently a high school, and they've got some kids, standing behind the podium as a prop for whatever deal he was going to talk about. Everybody does it. It's not unusual. And they're wearing masks. DeSantis walks in before the speech, and he says, hey, you don't have to wear those masks. You can if you want to, but you don't have to wear them. They're not that protective, especially for your age group, so it's up to you, but you don't have to wear them. And 3 or 4 of the kids took the masks off. The rest of them kind of kept their masks on. And everybody started calling Ron DeSantis a bully for the way that he was treating those poor children by telling them that they have a choice in all of that. Where are we with COVID? It sounds like, from everything I'm reading in the news, it's over. But we know it's not over, or
That's
is
true.
it?
No, I think it's still around, and in my opinion, it's going to be around for quite a while. It's going to become more like the seasonal flu, and I think it's kind of early to determine that, but that's what it seems to be. These newer variants are much, much weaker, and they're not causing the health problems that the original strain and that first modification were causing. So that's just what it appears to be. I think that a lot of the people are not wanting to put a lot of information out there right now. They've been putting information out as fast as they could originally, and it's kind of gotten away from that narrative. So they're kind of slowing down the information that's coming out. I do think that Bill Gates had something interesting to say a few weeks ago, and then because it's who it was, wasn't getting canceled like a lot of the other people were. And he came out and said that essentially it's the epidemic is over in his mind, because the Omicron variant that's out there has spread so much faster, but it's so much weaker that the people that had not gotten vaccinated, for the most part, the majority of of those other people have built up natural immunity from the Omicron or one of the previous ones. And I'm kind of paraphrasing what he was saying, but essentially that's what he came out to say. And there's been a lot of other people saying that he shouldn't have said that. You know, it's kind of, how does he know that it's over? He's not a scientist. And, you know, but that's about all the comments that you see about what he said. And I think there's probably a lot of truth of what he has said about that.
Well, certainly since he left leadership at Microsoft, he's really been focused on vaccinations and health, overall health in undeveloped third world countries. I know one of his projects has been on how do we dispose of human waste in a sanitary manner when we can't afford necessarily to invest gazillions of bazillions of trillions of dollars to build sewer plants and infrastructure in these third world countries. I mean, that type of development happens, but it's not going to happen fast enough to clean up things. And I know he's a lot of people on the conspiracy side of things thinks he's maybe a part of where the COVID came from and and some of this other stuff. But you're right, because of who he is, he's less likely to get canceled than, say, an Alex Berenson or some of these other folks who are also doing research and are also studying the data and also studying information and trying to share some of this information with the people.
Yes, and kind of talking about the kids, again, I've seen a couple of different reports, and I've heard about them, heard them picked up on the news, but you only hear it like once or twice, and then you don't hear it anymore. But about the CDC dropping the estimated number of words that a 2-year-old is supposed to know by age, I think it's age 24 months. You know, they were supposed to know a certain number of words, and they have backed that total off. And I think it went from 60 to 50, something like that. And that's a measure of how well a child is developing. And with education, just that in-home type of environment that most newborns up to age 2 are in, and it was one of the areas that I didn't even know that the CDC was tracking.
I was going to say,
and then you get this report, and where'd that come? Well, it's the CDC, but and the idea is that behind this report is that children are, they're playing around making sounds as they're developing as a child, and then they're mimicking other people.
Right, and if other people are wearing masks,
they can't see what they're doing,
and they can't mimic what they're doing. And so instead of unmasking the population, we're going to lower the standard on what it is that they're going to pick up and learn.
Correct.
My goodness. All right, I have more questions.
I will stay.
Thank you very much. Kirk Irby is with us. We're going to take a break for the news, and we'll be back with more. This is KSVP.